On this day 8 months ago, on the 11th of November 2024, I started building my first ever theme park in Planet Coaster 2, with an entrance area that followed into a lake and had so many themed areas after it, and loads of unique roller coasters around the entire park, and we've been building that for 8 months now. And in this episode, the building process of this park ends, because we are going to complete the final themed area to its full extent, including a brand new, very random new roller coaster, and all the theming around that, and the major Giga Coaster in the area too. Be sure to watch till the end so you can see a slight tour of the entire themed area, with all of the names being revealed for everything too, and so you don't miss our discussion about what's next for Isle of Discovery. And be sure to click that subscribe button as well if you haven't already. It would be greatly appreciated, because as much as this series is ending today, it is not the end of Planet Coaster 2 theme parks on this channel, because the next one I have a very clear idea on what I'm going to be making, and it's going to be quite different to Isle of Discovery, but also pretty cool in itself. So yes, welcome to the final construction episode of Isle of Discovery, episode 31. Again, I say it every time, I thought this series was going to be like 15 episodes long at a push, maybe 20. To see it on 31 episodes now is crazy, and if this is the final one, I know a lot of you guys have been saying that you really enjoy the fact it's gone on for this long. There's been a few comments saying it's gone on for too long, which I completely understand. The next few series is series plural. That's how we'll word that. The next few will probably be a bit shorter than this one, because I can understand how it is quite hard to follow along on a series that has 30 episodes and they're all like 20 minutes plus. So I get that completely. I am taking it all into account for the next park, which I have a plan for. I'm so excited to go into that, and we'll talk about that more later and in the next video. As you can see, I am now building the queue line for the Giga Coaster. I haven't actually done that yet at all, really. I was building the sort of area and surroundings of the village little bit that you walk into and see the view of the Giga Coaster, but I never built any of the surrounding area around this area here. So then I decided to do that. You can see the queue line is very much a longer queue line rather than just all in one space underneath the coaster. Thought it'd be nice to have it sort of go out a little bit into the woods, have a few sci-fi looking theming pieces around, and work our way around like that. Some terrain work as well. Yeah, I just don't know how to feel about this, you know, because we're coming towards the end of this series. Well, we've been coming towards the end of it for what feels like an eternity now. Every episode I seem to say that. But now this is the final construction episode. I'm gutted that it's ending. I'm also really excited for the next park. I don't know what to do with myself. I mean, I've enjoyed this park, of course. I've tried to do it to the best of my ability, but obviously there's been a few limitations with the piece count and everything, especially in the latter stages during the Wild West, the Egypt zone, and this zone especially. You'll realise there's a lot of places that probably need a bit more theming, but I just don't want to make the piece count high, which I'm keeping in mind for the next park. This is like a test run. An 8-month-long theme park is going to be my test run. Okay, that's stupid. It's basically the pilot theme park that I'm making, and the next few will be more detailed, a little bit more compact, but also really heavily themed, and different themes as well. I'm not going to do the same themes. Say, I don't know, we do the Viking theme again. It won't be like a Viking water park or a Viking themed area that's in the mountains. It'll be something completely different. So I'm just going to try and make it so you're not just watching the same things over and over again. If we even need the Viking theme in the next park, because right now my idea is we won't need that. So yeah, stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss that. But what's next for Isle of Discovery whilst I place rocks and trees in the queue line, and also start placing walls down right here behind the sort of queue line, but between the coaster and it, just to make it look like it's taking over, like I've been saying for quite some time. And I think the name of the ride now does signify that quite a lot. But yeah, back to that. Isle of Discovery, what's next? So you'll see this construction episode. You'll see me build trees and rocks. So exciting. There is more exciting stuff to come in this video, so stay tuned for that as well. I'm literally going to build a new roller coaster, and I'll talk through all of that when we get to that point. But next up, next week, will be the official final video of Isle of Discovery. And when I say that, of course, this is the final construction episode. This is part of the series where we're building the entire thing. We've been building the entire thing since episode 1. We've obviously dipped into the water park, Ragnarok as well, and then dipped back out of that to the main park. And it's been a joy to build. But the final episode, episode 32, kind of just wanted to make it a round number, an even number. And that's why I've sort of said that there's going to be one more. But a lot of you guys have been wanting some sort of opening day vlog, and I think that would be so fun to do, whether it be with Facecam in the corner or not. Just sort of take the mic and go around the park and see the things you might not have seen in the series, maybe like the front shop, the Emporium that's actually been completed now. What would you believe it? Some of the smaller things, like you're not actually going to see the dark ride in this episode, the POV of that. There's a few little touch-ups I need to do to it, and also I'd quite like to keep it a secret until the next episode, so you can see that then, or maybe even explore it for yourself. Who knows when it does release next week, because yeah, going to tour the whole park, and there's going to be a nice show at the end to sort of send off Isle of Discovery for the final time, and then there's going to be a bit of a break because I do need to focus on some other things, and also I am going away soon as well again, but I will be back soon after this break to build my next theme park. I know I am building a Universal Studios recreation, the Great Britain one. I've kind of stopped doing that for now because this is this has taken so much of my time away, and then the same goes for the what was the Valgard? That's the one. I can't even remember the name of it. The Paultons Park Viking themed area recreation. That's a very small project, but that, I mean, I have till next year to do it, so I guess I don't really need to do it right now, but I'm definitely going to crack on with that at some point soon as well. Putting some covers over the queue line, as you can see, and the whole idea is up those stairs, you're going to see not like a massive grand castle, because I can't make that because of the piece count, but a nice sort of epicenter piece of this castle that you're about to enter into, and there's going to be a pre-show in there, or like a walking pre-show, like you see it whilst you're queuing, rather than you have to stop in a room and batch, and then see it, then be batched into the station. Because you can't really do that in Planet Coaster, sadly, but I feel like what I've done with it works really well. And again, I think that's something I'm going to show you in the next episode as well, just to give you something to come back for, you know. Why not watch the full park vlog? Because we're going to go around to each area and sort of go on a ride or two in each area. Not going to do every single ride because that would take me forever. But I'll definitely get around and do quite a few different ones. But there will also be a video of all the POVs of every single roller coaster in the park. I've seen a lot about that as well. A lot of you guys wanting to see that. That'll definitely be happening too on this channel. I know I've released loads of POVs on the second channel, but there will be more. Well, there'll be every single one on this channel in one video. So I hope you enjoy that when it does release. Yeah, I just want to say more about this new theme park that I have planned. Like, in my head, it is literally like solidified. Like, this is what I want to do. I really want to make it look like this. I've got ideas for themes and everything. Again, very different to this park itself. It's going to be a very different vibe. But the theming will probably be better because we'll have more detail, because I'm going to have less areas. I don't want to have loads of areas like this one. We've literally packed this park out to 1,000,000%. My computer hasn't actually struggled too bad. I'll give my computer a pat on the back. What a job. Like, it is mad how much stuff is in this park and it's managed to survive. So fair play to my computer. I pray for anyone that downloads this next week, because you might also have severe lag issues. But hopefully that's not the case, and you can explore the park completely lag free, hopefully. But if you don't want to sort of load up the entire park at once, and you do think it's going to cane your PC, or for console players that can't load up the entire park anyway, there is going to be the option to also download them separately, and I'm going to talk about that more later and in the next video, because as you can see, we are starting the final coaster in the park. I know I said last time when I built the Giga Coaster, I said this is the final coaster in the park. Yeah, that was the final major coaster in the park, because this one is quite small and not very major. But it's a Mack Big Dipper. I thought, again, seeing your guys' suggestions, loads of people originally wanted me to build a Mack Striker in this final area as the big main coaster. So I didn't manage to do that because I've chosen Intamin Giga. But I thought it'd be really cool to actually give it a go in this plot of land here, because, well, there's nothing there. I mean, behind you can actually see it in future time-lapse and also when we go into real time. There is now a show building for the Chinese-themed area of Lantasia. I've made this sort of show that you can go and watch a theatre show. Obviously, again, not going to have to sort of pack that out with seats and everything because it's going to kill my computer, which is annoying, but something I've got to do, sadly. But there we go. A Mack Big Dipper in this place next to that. I just think there was just so much space. And I'm not just going to leave an area like this for a couple flat rides or something, or just another dark ride, because it would have to go over the pathway and everything. It'd be stupid. Or like a tracked ride. It didn't really suit the area. Why not do a Mack Big Dipper? I thought it'd be cool. And we actually have a name for that as well. I've taken someone's suggestion for a name for the Giga Coaster and put it on this so we can sort of get a grasp on the different names for everything. The only ones that won't have a name in this episode is that dark ride itself, because I feel like riding it in the opening day vlog and showing you the name at the same time would be quite nice. So we're going to do that then, and you'll see that in its full glory. As you can see, building this section here, that was going to be a nice little like wave turn element, but that got changed into a cutback, which if you don't know what a cutback is, it's sort of like an overbank but with a piece in the middle that literally like flips riders upside down for a very split second and then flips them back the normal way. So that's what that is eventually. I just haven't done it there. And then I'm trying to put in a circular loop because I know a lot of Mack Big Dippers have that, and I really wanted one on this, so that fits in right there quite nicely. The hang time on that is great as you head into an outer bank. And yeah, I just wanted to make this ride quite simple, nothing special, no mid-course brake run or anything. It's probably not going to be the highest throughput ride, but that was the goal with this park, was to put the most high throughput rides everywhere, like have every single ride running so many trains and have so much going on. But with this one, literally it's at the back of the park, and there's so many other roller coasters at this park. I don't think one being a low throughput machine would matter too much. So yeah, we've gone and done that. And as you can see, doing like a stall-in version, very much inspired from Helios at Fantasiana. Another inspiration for this, another Mack Big Dipper, funnily enough. And there you go, testing it round. And yeah, this is quite a fun ride though. It's just very sort of whippy. It's not really got any major elements on it that you'd go, whoa, that's world class, like I guess the Mack Hyper and the actual Intamin Giga probably have, and a few other rides may have one as well. I don't know, the massive like dueling drop on the two Woodies, Sheriff and Bandit over in the western area, maybe that's also a world class element, I don't know. But yeah, there's so much in this park. I need to count how many roller coasters there are, and I'll tell you how many there are in the next episode, because I'm pretty sure every area has at least 2 or 3 roller coasters in it. So, and we built, there's probably, maybe this is rivaling Six Flags, Magic Mountain, Energylandia and Cedar Point for the most roller coasters in a theme park. Maybe it is. It might actually be that. I don't know, but I'll find out for the next episode, because I think that'd be quite funny. But as you can see, sorting out the brake run there, trying to add 4 trains on. I thought, nah, 4 trains is too much. Put it down to 3, which makes sense because the brake run's so long. You'd have 1 block section there, the station, and then the lift hill. That went too nerdy for my liking. But there you go, it's testing round, and I realised it did go quite slow over that loop, even in the sped up time. As you can see, very, very slow over that vertical loop, so I did actually move that down a little bit. You probably won't see it in this time lapse, but once I put all the theming around it and everything, that is when I move that down as we go and theme up the station for the Intamin Giga. I know last time I said I wouldn't miss out on too much theming work and I'd show you pretty much everything. There's been so much to do. Not only have I had to build an entire dark ride about the story of this entire area, and there's some really cool scenes in there, so again, stay tuned for the next episode, but also I've had to put all these trees and rocks around, make a show building around that dark ride and theme up the sides that you can see from the pathways, and we've also had to make this station. So I thought I'd only show you the things that do properly matter to the project, which of course is the station building for this ride. I did actually build the station for the other ride, but it's a very similar building to this, so I thought we'll just show this one. And as you can see, again, a castle-esque building. We're going for that sort of medieval village vibe still, but something has taken over. There's a lot of electricity and a lot of things pulsing around and a lot of like protests happening. And it's because of this huge roller coaster at the back. And there's also going to be a little bit of that over at the Mack Big Dipper as well, but obviously that's not as big of a coaster, so it's not really got a part in it. I guess you could say it's only an element in the entire ordeal. That links to the name, which we'll get into later. God, I just link things back and I talk so epically, it's unreal. As you can see, it's sorting out the maintenance bay. That might be one of the worst things I've ever said. You can see the sort of maintenance bay building having some more theming go alongside it, and then you've got the sort of iron corrugated door on the front of that as well. As much as I don't go too realistic with my parks, I do like to have back of house areas, because I feel like when you fly over a theme park, or well, I mean, I don't personally fly, so I don't know how anyone's doing that, but if you were to see a theme park from a bird's eye view, the majority of it will be car parks and back of house sections, especially somewhere like Disney or somewhere like Universal. You would see a lot of sort of areas where no one can access it, and it's sort of what they don't want you to see, because it's all the sort of management and the, I don't know, water tanks and gas tanks and everything. All of that stuff is behind the scenes, and I think that's kind of necessary when looking over a theme park, so why not put it in this Planet Coaster Park of Isle of Discovery? Make it a bit more realistic, even if it's like not supposed to be the most realistic park of all time. Which, again, I have had conversations with some of you guys and also some of my friends and stuff. I do see the fact that a realistic park would be a really cool project to do, but I think Planet Coaster in general, for me, is something where I would care more about putting theming in and like different roller coasters. Yes, sure, having a maintenance bay, but I'm not really someone who would be like, right, I need a fire exit there, I need a fire exit here, oh, that needs a catwalk, like that sort of stuff. I'm not too fussed about that, especially with Planet Coaster parks, but maybe one day we'll do a realistic park and do something along those lines. But the next park will have that, a realism touch to it, like Isle of Discovery has, but it won't be like hyper realistic, so just expect the same realism as this park, basically. But with this park finally coming to an end, I thought I'd take this last minute or two as I theme up the outside of this station building and pre-show building to just thank you guys for the continued support on this series. Those of you who have stuck around since November, weekly or every other week, whenever it's come out, this series. Those of you who have stuck by and watched every single episode, or even come up to me in person and said, oh, I love Isle of Discovery and everything like that, I appreciate it so much. It's been an absolute joy to build, and this is going to be the final time lapse you see from Isle of Discovery. Not the most exciting one to end on, but you know, there's a lot of interesting stuff to come, not only from this park, but the next one as well. So yeah, let's head into real time for one of the final times. We are going to head straight into the final themed area in the park, and as you can see, you have this left-right decision on which way you want to go. You can either go right towards the sort of castle walls over there, that's more of just an alleyway down to the other side of the area, or once again you can come under these arches and enter the land of DigitalDan, as you can see on the archway right there. I love the idea of that name, and that was suggested by the Nebula Moth, so thank you very much for that. And as you can see, there's a couple messages around the outside and a lot of dirt, and people are trying to take it over but also defend their ground. Yeah, because something may or may not be taking over. Genuinely love that name and love this view. Look at that. That never gets old. Here's a brief look at some of the show building stuff that I've done behind the scenes to the right, left, and straight on behind the trees to the new dark ride that I'm going to show you next time. And over here is the two drop towers that I have added some theming to the top of, and I've also given a name to, named Anode and Cathode, which was suggested by Injamin. So sorry if I got that name wrong, but I really appreciate the name Anode and Cathode. I love that. It's such a cool name for two electricity-based towers. And with those visited, we then head under this archway here, and you can see the massive outer bank. I've not seen that view for a while. That is very cool. As we come down here, I still need to put the net there. What am I doing? There is always some stuff to work on, no matter what is complete. And as you can see, this is the name for the teacups ride in the corner, and it's called Dark Elixir, which was suggested by Blueberry31. So again, thank you for that name suggestion. I really like how this section is a lot more sort of calm and it's a lot nicer. So I thought Dark Elixir sounded quite cool. Right in the corner there. I did install a new pathway right down underneath the mid-course brake run, as you can see, and it heads up into the sort of area of the main coaster's entrance with yet another seating area. And as you can see here, that is the entrance to the ride, and I've called it Experiment 326, which I think is a great name for a ride that is 326 feet tall. And that was suggested by a few people. I originally saw it from Tog11, but there was also Kim Johansson, Yes Ute, The Fifth Explorer, and Pugmaster Plays that suggested it as well. So thank you very much for that. That is a very cool name. I just thought having 326 in there, as much as there's stuff like Fury 325 or Intimidator 305, although that's not a thing anymore, I thought it'd be awesome to have Experiment 326 as the name because it's a pretty substantially tall roller coaster for the park. And as we look around us, the coaster is going. I have done a custom train on it, which we'll have a look at, and it goes off into the distance where the other new coaster is. But for now, I think we're going to actually ride this thing. I'm not going to walk through it now because obviously we might do that in the opening day vlog, but you can see this castle wall at the back that then has loads of pipes running out of it, and there's loads of sci-fi equipment around. You can really tell there is an experiment taking over because you then head towards the main station building. And again, I'm going to show you the pre-show in there in the next video. I want to briefly show you the train that I've made for it. It's a lot of sort of electrical wiring and some purple lights that looks quite cool at night. And you can see some stuff on the front as well. Just a very simple train design, but I think it works nicely. As we go into the 326 feet tall drop, well, the drop isn't that height, but the height of it is. As you can see, we go down. There is actually an on-ride photo camera right there, which we'll have our photo taken of, and we might actually be able to see that. As you can see, we head down. Smoothed it out a little bit as well, so that's quite nice. This bit's so cool, the fact you just go via the lakes and the rivers. Loads of rock work and stuff, and then you just massively come out of nowhere all the way up into the sky before barrel rolling back down. And you go into this huge airtime hill, which is taller than the two drop towers. That's something to notice. And then we go into this outer bank here. You can see the lag trying to come through as well, can't you? It's mental. Then we go into a nice sort of double down, I guess you could call that. And then a huge airtime hill with a couple electrical cables on the supports. I thought that'd be quite a cool little theming piece. Really intense turn here. I can't believe this ride is a 7.7 excitement rating. I thought it'd be way less than that because of the brake run, but clearly not. We go down into the mid-course brake run. That support is a little bit close. Might have to do something about that. And here we go into the final bit of the ride. Coming down. Just this ride goes on for so long. And there's the on-ride photo camera. I think that lag was it taking it, but the game can't handle it. The final sections here. You might actually get a glimpse of the Mack Big Dipper in a second. So we come down near the queue line, go through the trees, very low to the ground around here. Oh, there's the Mack Big Dipper very quickly off in the distance. And there you go, into the brake run. I mean, for a final major coaster, that thing packs a punch. And look at it on the skyline, like that is just ridiculous. Then you would actually exit out via this wall down here and then walk down these little stairs right here. And there's actually an on-ride photo board section here as well. As you can see, photos have been taken. Very nice. Although that photo is not very good. I don't know what to do about that. But it's pretty good timing because as you step out from seeing your on-ride photo, you can see the Mack Big Dipper right here. Again, there's a few footers on those supports over there that are missing, but you can see it coming from a mile away. As you can see, the train is all themed and then it goes into this cutback. Look at that, speeding through into the vertical loop where it gets a bit of hang time. And then goes into the rest of the layout. And I've decided to call this Element X because I really like that name, and that was suggested for the Giga Coaster, but I thought it worked really well for this. And that was suggested by Lam Zeem, so thank you very much for that name. That is a really nice name. I love it. Because once again, the queue line and the station building is all very just sort of gothic, medieval castle, and then it's just been taken over by experiments and stuff. So I guess this coaster here is an element of that. And we're going to ride it. As you can see, the lift hill is quite fast for a Mack Big Dipper. Well, I mean, they are fast anyway, so I guess just for a roller coaster, it's quite fast. We flatten out and into that first twisted drop. I really like that drop. We go into the weird outer bank. Like, that's such a weird element. I don't know what my brain was going through when I made that. Then we head into that overbank. A nice little breather before you head into a huge airtime hill. Followed by that cutback over the pathway. Again, might need some netting there. I'm not too sure. Then we go into the vertical loop. quite a smooth transition into that loop for an actual like preset piece, because obviously loops in this game, I think it's actually better. Oh, we've been hit by a tree. I think loops are actually better to preset than build yourself, especially for me anyway. Barrel rolling down, a nice little stall there. It's actually a very similar ending to the Giga Coaster in the way that it's very low to the ground and quite whippy. And we head into one last inversion. And we go into the brake run. There is, of course, still some work to do on that coaster and the area in general, but for the most part, that is fully complete now. The huge land of DigitalDan, which has been taken over by Experiment 326 and Element X. And that also brings us to the end of the entire park in general. This little gap here, I said about it earlier, I've actually filled with a theatre show building. As you can see, that's like a Lantasia themed sort of theatre. Very much the experiment still going on behind it, but I've linked up the pathways and made the really nice sort of red trees, green trees like we did in the area of Lantasia, and then put a queue line in for that. Did a few touch-ups around the park elsewhere, but that is pretty much it for Isle of Discovery now. I think it's crazy to see how far this series has come from the Olympus area over here, the Greek themed area, all the way over to, if we want to load, DigitalDan over here, which looks a lot more realistic and embedded into the trees, and then of course the western area as well. I think I've done all right with a low piece count. I love all the different areas in this park so much, and I love the fact I've been able to document it all for you guys and show you the entire build process, from all the roller coasters to even the car parks over here, the maintenance areas, the hotel, to even this garden down here, which I've completely forgotten about. If you have any suggestions as to what I should put in here, please let me know in the comments. That'd be quite funny. And it has been one heck of a series, but again, stay tuned for next week's episode, because there'll be a full tour, a park opening day vlog from Isle of Discovery, where we will open the park to guests and go in and check out all the different rides and go on a few of them, and have a finale end show right on the lake and around the park as well. And yeah, what a first park to make in this game. I am so happy with how it came out, and I hope you guys enjoyed the series as much as I have making it. I'm very excited to open the park up and also give you guys the download for it, and I'm even more excited to get into building the next theme park. So if you want to see more time lapses, much like you've seen in this series, but for a different theme park that when we start filming is going to have some cracking themes, then be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and see you next week for the opening ceremony of Isle of Discovery.